The moment that fizzy liquid touches your tongue, your brain lights up with excitement. The sweetness is so intense that it actually overwhelms your taste buds, tricking them into believing they're in for a treat. Behind the curtain, though, the body starts to deal with an unusual shock, an enormous rush of sugar that it was never designed to process all at once. Within just 10 minutes, your bloodstream is flooded with glucose and fructose. Your pancreas instantly jumps into action, releasing insulin to bring things under control. But instead of being used for immediate energy, much of this sugar will be converted into fat. This is the very first step of a metabolic chain reaction that begins with that innocent sip. What feels refreshing is also a clever illusion. The carbonation makes you feel like your thirst is quenched, but in reality, Coca-Cola's high sugar content actually dehydrates the body further. This is why many people notice they crave even more liquid shortly afterward. That first can of Coke is not just a drink, it's the start of a metabolic roller coaster. And if repeated daily, this ride only gets faster, rougher, and harder for your body to escape. Around 20 to 30 minutes after finishing your Coke, your body is still under siege. Your blood sugar levels are peaking, making you feel a temporary rush of energy. Some describe it almost like a sugar high. But science shows that this isn't real stamina, it's borrowed energy that your body will soon demand back. Your liver is already overwhelmed. Faced with so much fructose, it starts converting it into fat at a rapid pace. This process is one of the key reasons why daily soda consumption is closely linked to fatty liver disease, even in people who aren't overweight. Then comes the crash. About an hour later, your blood sugar begins to plummet, leaving you tired, irritable, and craving more sugar. This vicious cycle explains why many people instinctively reach for another can or a sweet snack later in the day. In less than 2 hours, what seemed like a harmless refreshment has already triggered a cascade of highs and lows that destabilize your metabolism, and you're just getting started. Drinking Coke doesn't just affect your body, it hacks your brain. The sugar, combined with caffeine, stimulates the release of dopamine, the same neurotransmitter linked to pleasure, reward, and even addiction. That fizzy sip lights up the same pathways as certain addictive substances. This explains why many people crave soda not because of thirst, but because of the feel-good sensation it temporarily provides. The brain begins to associate Coca-Cola with happiness, relaxation, or comfort, creating a powerful psychological attachment. But this reward system comes at a cost. Over time, your brain's dopamine receptors can become less sensitive. This means that to get the same pleasure hit, you may feel compelled to drink more Coke than before. It's not just habit, it's biochemistry at work. What started as a refreshing drink has now become part of your brain's reward circuitry, pushing you further into dependence without you even realizing it. The liver is one of the organs that suffers the most when you drink Coke daily. Every can delivers a large dose of fructose, and unlike glucose, fructose is processed almost entirely by the liver. With each passing day, the workload piles up. Within a month, your liver is forced to convert excess sugar into fat. Some of this fat stays in the liver, leading to a condition scientists call non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Studies show that drinking 1 or 2 sugary sodas a day can significantly raise the risk of this disease in less than a year. This fat buildup doesn't just affect the liver. Over time, it seeps into the bloodstream, raising cholesterol and triglyceride levels. This is one of the hidden reasons why regular soda drinkers often show signs of metabolic syndrome, even if they don't look overweight. By the end of 30 days, your liver has been in survival mode, working overtime to handle the daily sugar overload. But survival comes at a cost. Damage accumulates silently, often without noticeable symptoms until much later. Drinking Coke daily turns your blood sugar into a roller coaster ride. Every can spikes your glucose, followed by a steep drop. This constant up and down cycle exhausts your body's ability to maintain balance. When sugar levels rise too quickly, your pancreas floods your system with insulin. Over time, the cells in your muscles and organs stop responding to it efficiently, a condition known as insulin resistance. This is one of the first steps towards type 2 diabetes. Meanwhile, the lows leave you feeling fatigued, foggy-headed, and desperate for another pick-me-up. This cycle is not about weak willpower, it's biology. Your body is literally screaming for stability, but gets caught in a loop of highs and crashes. After 30 days, this pattern becomes entrenched. What was once a quick burst of energy is now an endless chase, with your metabolism stuck on a ride it never wanted to board. Quick pause. After hearing about these first 5 effects, which one surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to know what shocked you most about Coke's impact so far. Every sip of Coke doesn't just affect sugar, it nudges your cardiovascular system too. The caffeine and sugar combination triggers a surge in adrenaline, which temporarily increases your heart rate and blood pressure. For some people, this effect is subtle, but repeated daily, it becomes more pronounced. Within 30 days of daily consumption, studies show a measurable rise in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. This is particularly concerning because high blood pressure is known as the silent killer. You may not feel it, but it quietly damages your blood vessels and heart. Excess sugar also contributes to stiffness in your arteries, reducing their ability to expand and contract. Over time, this forces your heart to work harder, straining the entire cardiovascular system. What feels like just a harmless beverage can, in fact, accelerate one of the world's leading causes of heart disease. And it all begins with that daily habit. Caffeine is one of the most widely consumed psychoactive substances on Earth, and Coca-Cola delivers a consistent dose. In the short term, it blocks adenosine receptors in the brain, preventing drowsiness and making you feel alert. But with daily consumption, your brain adapts. It begins to create more adenosine receptors to counteract the caffeine, which means over time you'll need more Coke to feel the same level of alertness. This is the biology of tolerance, and it happens faster than most people realize. As dependence builds, missing your daily Coke can trigger withdrawal symptoms, headaches, irritability, fatigue, and even difficulty concentrating. These symptoms are not in your imagination, they are the result of neurochemical changes in your brain. By the end of 30 days, caffeine has shifted from being a bonus boost to being a necessity. At that point, you're not drinking Coke to feel good, you're drinking it to avoid feeling bad.
Coca-Cola contains phosphoric acid, an ingredient that gives it its tangy bite. But that same acid has a hidden cost. It slowly erodes your teeth and interferes with calcium absorption in your bones. Dentists often compare daily soda consumption to bathing your teeth in sugar and acid simultaneously. This combination strips away enamel, making teeth more vulnerable to cavities, discoloration, and sensitivity. Meanwhile, the acid interferes with the body's ability to absorb calcium efficiently. Over time, this can weaken bones, increasing the risk of osteoporosis, especially when soda replaces calcium-rich beverages like milk. The danger is subtle but cumulative. 30 days won't shatter your bones, but it will begin laying the groundwork for long-term damage that often goes unnoticed until much later in life. Insulin is the hormone that helps your cells absorb glucose for energy. But when you bombard your body with sugar every single day, your cells gradually stop responding to it effectively. This is insulin resistance, the silent doorway to type 2 diabetes. Scientific studies have consistently shown that people who drink sugary sodas daily have a significantly higher risk of developing insulin resistance. And the mechanism is clear. Constant sugar spikes demand constant insulin surges until your body simply stops listening. This resistance doesn't just affect blood sugar. It also disrupts fat metabolism, increases inflammation, and raises the risk of cardiovascular disease. It's like a domino effect inside your body, triggered by one can at a time. By the 30th day, your body has already begun adapting in unhealthy ways, setting the stage for chronic disease if the habit continues. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria that influence digestion, immunity, and even mood. But sugar-loaded drinks like Coke throw this delicate ecosystem out of balance. Daily exposure to high sugar feeds harmful bacteria and yeast while starving the beneficial microbes that support your health. This imbalance, known as dysbiosis, can cause bloating, inflammation, and impaired digestion. Over time, dysbiosis weakens your gut barrier, allowing harmful substances to leak into your bloodstream. Scientists call this leaky gut, and it has been linked to a range of conditions from autoimmune diseases to depression. 30 days of Coke won't destroy your microbiome completely, but it pushes it in the wrong direction, toward a state where bad bacteria thrive and good bacteria struggle to survive. One of the strangest effects of drinking Coke daily is that it actually makes you thirstier. The sugar and caffeine act as diuretics, causing your body to lose more water than it gains. That's why, instead of quenching your thirst, Coke often leaves you craving another drink soon after. This thirst trick fuels a cycle of consumption. You reach for more Coke to feel refreshed, but the very drink you choose is what's keeping you dehydrated. It's a biological paradox created by clever chemistry. In the long term, dehydration can affect everything from kidney function to skin health. Even mild dehydration has been shown to impair concentration, reduce physical performance, and increase feelings of fatigue. So after 30 days, your body is not more hydrated, it's fighting to hold on to water while you're trapped in a loop of thirst and sugar dependency. The scientific consensus is clear. Daily consumption of sugary soda is strongly linked to obesity, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, heart disease, and even certain cancers. The longer the habit continues, the higher the risk. Cohort studies involving thousands of participants have shown that people who drink soda every day shorten their lifespan compared to those who rarely or never do. And the effects don't take decades to appear. Many metabolic changes begin within just weeks. Beyond physical health, there are mental implications too. Research has linked high sugar diets to an increased risk of depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. The gut-brain connection we explored earlier plays a crucial role here. The truth is unsettling. What feels like a harmless choice daily is in fact a scientifically proven risk factor for multiple chronic diseases, and the more consistent the habit, the steeper the price. If you've made it this far, I know you're curious about sugar's impact. When you finish this video, check out what happens if you cut out sugar completely for 30 days, according to science. You'll be amazed by the transformation. Here's the good news. Your body is incredibly resilient. If you quit after 30 days, the benefits begin almost immediately. Within a week, your blood sugar stabilizes. Within a month, your liver starts to heal and fat buildup begins to reverse. Your blood pressure can begin to normalize. Your risk of diabetes decreases, and your energy levels stop fluctuating wildly. Even your skin and sleep patterns often improve as your body adapts to life without daily sugar spikes. Dentists report that stopping soda consumption also reduces cavity progression and sensitivity. Meanwhile, your gut microbiome begins to recover, allowing beneficial bacteria to thrive again. So the story doesn't have to end in damage. 30 days of Coke every day is harmful, but stopping now means your body gets a second chance to repair, renew, and thrive. The question is, are you willing to give it that chance? And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves Coke. It might just change the way they look at that next can.